Welcome to Cincinnati Soccer Talk, the podcast covering all things soccer in the Queen City. So get in touch, soccer fans. Email us at feedback@cincinnati-soccertalk.com. Now, here's your host, Nick Suberly.
Hey, what's happening, Cincinnati Soccer Talkers? Welcome to episode 106 of CST. Glad you're with us here live on Monday evening. Hey, it's really good to do these podcasts on Monday nights and be able to talk about actual soccer games being played. That's right. FC Cincinnati draws 2-2 over the weekend with Nashville SC. A brewing rivalry. Is it on our hands? I don't know, but it was bloody. We'll talk about that coming up. And, of course, we're debuting a new game here on Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We are really, really excited to be playing that tonight. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us, you can. We'll be monitoring the Facebook and YouTube comments, facebook.com/Cincinnati Soccer Talk, youtube.com/Cincinnati Soccer Talk. You can also hit us up on Twitter at Cincy Soccer Talk. And don't forget, you can always email us feedback@CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. Captains. We've got a very special episode captain this week. We got to give it up to Kathy Francis. Kathy, thank you so much for supporting us and wearing the armband for Cincinnati Soccer Talk this week. We really appreciate your support. To learn more about wearing an armband for an episode of CST, you can log on to CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support. All right, let's welcome in my cast of characters this week. We welcome back, fresh off a trip to Florida. He doesn't look tan at all, just like I didn't.
Ginger.
We welcome back Brian Weigel. Brian, what's going on, bud?
Well, let's just face it. You're cutting to me so you can go and change that Cincinnati Bengals t-shirt you're wearing right now, right?
I'm going to leave it on. Just it's been one of those nights. Going to leave it on. Got to support all the teams in Cincy, right?
Oh, I love all the Facebook comments. Bengals.
I know.
No. I'm just happy. You know, we're back in the swing of things. We had a couple home matches. I kind of felt kind of how I felt like kind of coming back from summer vacation from college. You just seen all your buds that you haven't seen in a couple months, because it's probably been a little longer for me because I have kids and have no life, social life outside of FC Cincinnati. So, yeah, so it's cool to see everybody and, you know, kind of get past this MLS headache and actually watch some soccer. So great to be back.
It's good to have you back, Brian. Looking forward to what you have in store for us tonight with this little game we're going to be playing a little bit later on in the show.
Oh, don't set the bar too high.
Of course. Speaking of bar too high, let's welcome in Yosef Sagai to the show. Yosef, what's going on, buddy?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but not a whole lot. I agree 100% with Brian. Great to get out, get back in the swing of things. We had a nice little light march from Mecklenburg, and it was good to get some of those nice chicken tenders they sell. It felt like old times again. So
chicken tenders. You go to Mex and get chicken tenders.
Have you had their chicken tenders?
It's a German restaurant. Of course not.
They're delicious.
You're ridiculous.
Would I steer you wrong when it comes to game day food, Brian?
100% yes.
Fair enough. This one I paid for though, so you know,
okay.
Take that with what you will.
Proud of you, big boy.
Good to be on, my friends.
Well, it's good to have you back, Yosef. And speaking of being back, I can't even tell you the last time he was on a show, but we're really excited to have Ken Hetger back here on the roundtable tonight. Ken, what's going on, bud?
Hey, Subs. It's good to be back. I feel like saying Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Valentine's Day. It's been a long time. I think it's actually been since October. I want to reiterate exactly what Brian and Yosef said. Is it was good to see some games. I mean, I am exhausted from the off-season topic. So let's talk some football.
Some actual football being played. I have to respond to Nate Hale in the Facebook chat. Said, of all days, I should be wearing a Manchester United kit after what went down today against Crystal Palace. I know. I actually thought about it, Nate. I actually thought about it. But no, Ken, it's good to have you back. And I got to tell you, I think since the last time you were on the show, you got a nice little fancy background you got going on there with the scarves. I like the collection.
Yeah. I representing all the new people. I think I got Norden here, which our own Griff designed, and got a little gift from my daughter back in Christmas. FTC with in the shape of Ohio because we are Ohio's team.
That's
So,
yeah. We kind of had some news about that today, didn't we? Which I'm sure we'll discuss at some point, either tonight or further down the line. For
I
sure.
just didn't know we had so many lawyers in the state of Ohio. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they don't have anything else going on in the state of Ohio right now. We got to be focusing on keeping a soccer team in Columbus. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got a great joke for that. We'll talk about later.
Yes, we will. We do have a match to get to. Let's talk about what transpired since we last spoke. Actually, I think if you think about it, it's actually 2 matches since we last spoke. Obviously, the match last week against NKU, and of course, over the weekend, FC Cincinnati draws 2-2 with Nashville SC. Let's start with NKU. Joseph, were you there at that match, or did you have to miss that?
I had to miss NKU. I'll defer to Brian on that one.
Brian, I don't think you were there either, were you?
Of course, you didn't read the rundown, but I talked to everybody who was there. Come on, man.
Ken, were you there?
I was not present either, but
Wow.
I did my homework, Captain. Come on.
All right,
No,
so let's talk about that match. It was a 3-0 win. FC Cincinnati gets the win over NKU. Look, it wasn't, and again, the result doesn't matter. It's a collegiate soccer team. I think the biggest thing you take away from that is guys getting minutes, getting fitness. But there were some important moments from that night, Bri.
Well, you're stealing my thunder here. I was just excited Josu got back on the field. You know, some guy who we haven't seen pretty much all preseason. So it's great for him to get back. And, you know, if we kind of project this roster, and this can kind of touch on both games, I think you're going to see a lot of rotation through at least maybe the first half of the year. Brad always talks about what Tottenham does. You know, they switch out their wingbacks every game. I could absolutely see Coach Koch kind of pulling that through the first half of the year, keep guys fresh. So it's important for the guys like Daniel Haber, who impressed, to get 60 minutes here with Josu out in the field. You know, is very important. Richie Ryan and Declan Keenan got 60 minutes each in that first NKU game as well. So you saw a lot of things. You saw newcomer Tomi Amiobi out there, and I think a lot of them impress as what you said. It's first a college team, but I think the fact that they were at least able to dictate a lot of play kind of helps. And, you know, honestly, I think kind of going into the Nashville game, playing this NKU game hurt them a little bit because NKU really didn't pressure them as hard, so they held on to the ball. Then when they played Nashville, when Richie Ryan or Bone held on to the ball in that game, they got swarmed a lot more. So I think it's a process. It's a learning curve, and I think they're only going to get stronger just because of the time together playing with these different matches.
Joseph, you want to hop in there with your take on last week's game against NKU?
Yeah, I'll first give a shout out to Stu Riddle, who I got to meet in person. Thank you for being on the show. But I agree with Bri. I think we're going to have a lot of actual meaningful games that have great rotation, but we want to get those players. And it's great to see. Josu's such a fan favorite. It's great to see him get.
Did I lose Joseph?
First off, I'm going to correct Joseph. He's a Kerala Blasters fan favorite, soon to be FC Cincinnati fan favorite. I'm joking, of course, naturally.
Did we get Joseph back? Are you there, Joseph? Oh,
Joseph is frozen in time.
Because he opened Facebook and he got harassed by his 18 girlfriends. That's what happened. So
that's a
sorry,
hardcore
Joseph.
freeze there on Joseph.
You're not here to defend yourself, buddy.
To be continued with Joseph. Ken, what do you make for that match against NKU?
Well, since I wasn't there, and like you all were talking, we just read it through Twitter. I would say it was a good game. The one thing I would take away that was probably a little bit of a negative was, and since I'm the contrarian, is we need probably a little bit better clinical finishing. We apparently hit the woodwork like 5 times. So
let's not deny, we heard good things about the NKU keeper. So
yes, that's true. So I mean, it was a good game. It's a college team. Haber impressed, like everybody's been seeing, and I think the one that stood out to me, and I didn't see him at NKU, but with the Nashville game as well, as Will Seymour. I think he is starting to show his worth in gold a little bit. He's going to work his way into that middle of the field to provide some relief for those 3 midfielders.
Well, That's a take right there, man. It's going to be a lot for that young guy to, well, he's 25, whatever it is, to push out guys like Walker and Al-Badawi. But I mean, yeah, I thought he looked a little rough. Do we want to talk about Nashville, or do we want to talk about the meet and greet right now?
Let's go
So
with the.
I can segue.
Well, I would say we should speak about the game against Nashville. 2-2
Okay.
draw.
So-
FC Cincinnati found themselves down early in that first half. Bounce back. I'm still waiting to see video of the screamer from Lance Lang. I don't know if the club actually ended up posting it or not.
I don't think they had it.
So,
I wasn't even ready for it. That's like one of the balls where you're just like, what are you? It's like a center shooting a 3-pointer in the NCAA tournament. You're like, no, yes! It was incredible. I screamed so loud. I brought my 3-year-old son, well, soon to be 3-year-old. He goes, Dad, you scared me, because it was incredible. But
I was sitting right above the press box in the garage with my brother, and it was a perfect angle. It was beautiful. I mean, I was complaining at that point in time. I'm like, man, we're not getting any help to Welshman. Lang comes flying down the side, and I'm like, don't shoot it. And he lets it loose, and it looks like it. We had, like I said, I had a perfect view, and it was a knuckleball. And when it went in, I'll just say this: what's Pickens? Matt Pickens. He had Mitch face.
This is what we've been missing for months, right there. Good job, Ken Hedger.
Is that resting Mitch face?
Yes, resting Mitch face.
Jeez, that's amazing. So I don't want to jump around too much here. Of course, we tied 2-2, but to Ken's point earlier when he's talking about how Seymour impressed in that NKU match, he didn't stick out to me as somebody who impressed right off the bat versus Nashville. I thought that for the first 10 minutes, I thought both clubs kind of were back and forth. And then minute 10 through minute 35, Kynan got his face broken up, his eyebrows gone or
Shiner,
missing or
big time.
something.
Yeah. It might still be bleeding.
It might still be bleeding. So I think that kind of shell shocked our team a little bit, and our guys really didn't know where to go. I felt like Ryan and Seymour were trying to both go forward and pick their chances, and they just weren't familiar enough in the preseason to do that. So once Koch kind of locked them down a little bit, with Ryan holding back, let Seymour kind of range forward, I thought FC Cincinnati looked a little bit better, especially after the 40th or 35th minute mark. I mean, I still see a lot of positives with this team, even though, it was a 2-2 result. Funny part, in all the comments, Coach Koch was like, yeah, I'm kind of happy we didn't win that game, which I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of interesting to say that, but I mean, I guess it kind of sets the bar. We need to set the bar higher for our guys, but overall, I thought it was a pretty entertaining match.
Well, let's see if we have Yosef back. Yosef, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, good.
Still here.
Still here. That's pretty funny. All right, so we're talking about Nashville SC and the 2-2 draw. I know you were there. What did you make of the match? And we were actually briefly discussing that Lance Lang goal and how great it was.
That was amazing. There are NFL field goal kickers who don't kick with that kind of accuracy, but as Bengals wearing the Bengals shirt, I had to give that little shout out.
Not only that, a kicker shout out too. Damn.
The major thing that I saw was it was kind of a tale of two halves. In the first half, I felt like, and I heard a lot of what you guys have said, but I felt like we were on our heels once the game finally kind of shook out the first 10, 15 minutes. But I was impressed. I saw some breakdowns that would have normally resulted in goals and some emergency clearances from our backs and Forrest Lasso. So, I mean, there was something to be said for that, but the way that they came back in the second half of things really showed me, hey, well, there's something to be taken away from this match and positives for this team. Nashville had a lot of play where they spread out and made the one good pass back or across the field into open space that got a good chance on goal. But I don't want to take away anything away from the draw, because I was on the other side of the pitch from where the penalty happened. So I'm not going to say it was a good call, a bad call. But the fact that even in a preseason game, the team didn't buckle over and going down early was nice. And for what it's worth, someone who I haven't spoken a lot about Emery Welshman. I mean, he had the goal that ended up being the match leveler. So I mean, I think he had a good game from when he played.
Let's speak about how Welshman really got into the game. If you think about it, for the first 30 minutes or so, we take the ball out of the back, we try to play out of the back, we get it to Ryan, Seymour, or Bone. And normally, if it was Bone or Seymour, I felt like the first pass was always backward, and you really couldn't get there. And then finally, when we started playing it out through the wings, out wide through Blake Smith, who I thought actually played very well offensively. Yeah, he had a little bit of hiccups, playing defense, but I think that's all will work itself out, hopefully. When we started to get those quick passes and get our numbers forward and put their three center backs kind of going back to goal, I thought that we played real well. I mean, getting Lang into space, or Welshman for that matter. I don't know if there's many more players better than those two guys in space, attacking a goal. And honestly, I felt that FC Cincinnati probably could have had a couple more better chances, or maybe even more goals in this game. But I think that adjustment there, and knowing when to keep pushing the ball forward, if we can keep doing through the course of the season, that's something that I feel good about. But conversely, if we get into the situations where we're making the back pass and we're being too slow offensively, and we're taking those huge long passes that we saw at Delbridge, 50-yard balls, if we keep doing that, I think that's a recipe for failure. And you saw that a couple times through the first 30 minutes.
All right, I got to ask because I wasn't there and I was following it along Twitter like a lot of other FC Cincinnati fans. But explain Floppy McFlopperson, please.
Big Bird?
Somebody. Big Bird. I saw tweets. I saw pictures. What exactly happened?
Oh, well, geez, I'll jump in here. It was trying to think of his name. Tucker Hume, right? Was it Tucker Hume? Yeah. He's like 6'5". Actually, I thought initially we struggled with him a little bit. He bodied us up and he held the ball, distributed it fairly well, and their guys ran on, and he let is it Mulatto? Help Mulatto in the center of the field. I think 10. He controlled. Yeah, number 10. He controlled the middle of the field fairly well for them.
He played very well.
But he had, like, I want to say in the 30th to 35th minute, he went down like 4 times with barely anybody touching him, and he was just crying for a foul. So he rightfully earned Floppy McFlopperson at that time, and but he was a handful for our guys. I think that it's a fair assessment that he was more than what just flopping around.
Yosef, okay, you were next to the Bailey. I was trying to cover my son's ears because there's fun things said. Can you give some insight into the crowd's treatment of Hume?
I know he came from, I think it was Ottawa, right? One of the Canadian teams. I don't think he experienced crowds as rude as us Americans in Canada. They were mean to him, man. And he
guy looked like he's about to cry.
Here's the thing, man, is that you say he's 6'5", he's pretty young still. I think he's like 22, 23, and he's still growing into his body a bit, but he was taller than Forrest Lasso, and Forrest Lasso is like a pure 6'6", 6'5". So I'm not saying the listing is wrong, but come on, man up a bit. Like, someone, and only like 3 people out of everybody listening will get this joke, but someone made the comment that he looked like Jonah from Veep, just like skinny gangly. He's like as skinny as me with 6 inches of frame.
Yes.
Wow.
Yosef, I love you right now.
I can't take credit. I'll defer to Kathy Francis's daughter, who actually made the comment. So, yeah. But it was. He got what he deserved.
Yes, he did. Another fun point on our fans this week was the treatment of Patty Barrett when he was warming up when Keenan got hurt. Let's just say the women were very happy when he got up and started getting loose. Let's just say that. I think somebody made a a comment about he has a nice keister, and he actually waved at that. So welcome to Cincinnati, and there's going to be a lot more where that came from, I'm sure. Welcome
It's
back.
pretty funny. I'm glad they got.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just glad they got to be in an environment where they can actually hear us yelling from the sidelines. Everyone was very loving to FCC fans, but it was pretty nice to see them. Especially, actually, one of my favorite moments was I was lucky enough to be walking into the gate right when the players were coming out from the locker room, and they stopped us. And seeing all the guys, they did not look like, even for this small of a crowd, I don't think they expected everybody to pack Gettler like they did.
It was a fun, intimate environment, and I think it's just going to breed more success. The one thing I've noticed, seeing these guys up close several times, training this game, is how comfortable they kind of look together. I felt like at times last year, especially that UC friendly in the preseason, I felt like they're a little cliquish. And I think I said this a couple weeks ago. I just don't feel like I've seen that a lot out of this roster. And to me, they all seem to be happy, joking, even though it's cold as heck on that side of the field. And I'm pretty excited. It seems like a loose group.
Yeah, there's one thing I noticed down in Florida. I didn't see a lot of that cliquish behavior. I saw a lot of the guys, bonding with one another. One of the things, and we kind of joked about it with Bill earlier this offseason about them hugging, but they do it. They do it almost every practice. So, we laughed, but it seems to be working. And when you have a group like they do with so many new faces, you don't have time to learn each other's tendencies. You kind of have to get going now. And so the early preseason has helped. That's why we're seeing success here in this preseason slate. And I know these games are friendlies and it doesn't matter, but it's going to help come March 17th, which is not that far away when the season kicks off. So I think one of the things, too, that was really significant last week, and I'm not surprised, but yet sometimes I still find myself in awe of what this community does surrounding this club, and seeing the tweets and the Facebook photos from the meet and greet last week. I mean, there hasn't been a time where I've been more jealous of you guys living down in Cincinnati, where I see these photos and the opportunity to mingle with the players and be with fans who follow the club as much as we do and are super passionate about the club, and to see the photos and to see everybody excited. That really had me going last week. I was really bummed I couldn't be there.
Yeah, that was I was there. I think I was the only one of us four that was actually there. I was there for about an hour and a half, and I recommend. I know all of our fans that are. I should say all, not all, but most of our fans that are watching us probably were there, have been. But anybody who is watching and has not been, next year when this comes around, I highly recommend going. What it is basically you get to sit down, and I shouldn't say sit down, but get to walk up and talk to the players and get autographs from every single one of them. I don't know exact number, but when I showed up, I was there 15 minutes before they opened the doors. Parking lot's packed. I had to park down the street, walk there. But it was good to see everybody there. People were entering in and letting little kids cut in line, to get autographs. The guys were taken aback. I'm trying to remember who it was. Somebody came out, saw Tommy coming down the hall, and he was just taken aback by the number of people there. I mean, it was just awe-inspiring for these new guys. And probably the best part from what I heard was after all the autograph session occurred, the players got up and mingled with the fans. So it's kind of like our mini Reds Fest with no payment for getting in and enjoying the crowd. It was nice to see everybody there. So,
yeah, I met with a couple FC Cincinnati staff members, and they said that it was so popular they actually had to cut off autographs for certain players. And I heard there was a riot when they had to cut off Jimmy McLaughlin. So maybe we can organize a meet and greet with CST or something like that. Foot Golf Classic, perhaps. So we'll see.
I just think it's awesome that the team comes out and supports. I mean, basically any kind of promotional event, any kind of event that this team puts together. I feel like there are just massive amount of people showing up, and that speaks volumes to what the club has done, to the chord that has struck with this city. I don't know if an event like that, even involving the Bengals, could muster up that kind of excitement. So we know Reds Fest is popular. That's something that happens every year, and this town is always going to love the Reds. But I don't know, man. This is a different beast. This I can't put my finger on it, but man, it is remarkable and so much fun to see. So I just hope.
I was going to say, I just hope when the team moves forward or whatever, we continue to do this.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was just going to say we can't take it for granted.
No.
Yeah. There's something to be said, man. You know what I just outsell my entire grade school class in wrapping paper to meet the Bengals. I have to pay hundreds of dollars if I want to go to Reds Fest for 2 days. And these players are not only happy to sit and meet fans, they do it for, FCC puts it on for free. Matry puts it on, hey, pay for your tab or whatever. But that's amazing to me. And yeah, definitely something we shouldn't forget.
Before we move on, we did get this comment on YouTube from Jeremy Miller. He says, let's not forget the trio from down south that joined us on Saturday. So apparently the beekeeper was in the building, guys.
Yeah, I said hi to him. So I kind of come up, and I don't know where my phone is right now, so I'll just use – oh, there it is. So I'm walking little Brian to get some popcorn because I'm like an awesome dad and everything. And so I walk up, and I say, like, "This JOC. Hey, JOC." He turns and puts his head, and he goes, "Hi." And so if you see our CST Twitter, I casually do the camera over the shoulder and click a picture. And Beekeeper scouted FC Cincinnati and Nashville. So, yeah, I don't know if he was used to seeing actually 25 players on a roster or just his normal 16, but he might have been a little impressed.
He did the wise thing. He brought Luke Spencer. No one can really be mad. Oh, man. Think how much worse he would have gotten it if Luke wasn't there.
Dude, no. Luke was like this the whole game. He had his hood up. He was going incognito and everything. I'm like, come on, Luke. People like you around here. Oh, well. It's all right. But yeah, JOC definitely had the hat. He had his hat kind of pulled down, trying to be all sneaky. We know who you are, JOC.
He came to see a crowd.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Also, I just saw that they're announcing something. I wonder if he scouted our players and said,
Baseball
I need
jerseys.
to do something.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Jeremy. So thank you for reminding me that James O'Connor was there. So all in all, it was a good week for FC Cincinnati. The meet and greet, the two friendlies, and they've got two more friendlies this week. So keep showing up, FC Cincinnati fans. We know we've got UC coming up on Wednesday night, and a big one with Sacramento Republic on Saturday as well. So it's going to be a good time. Before we move on to talk a little bit about some starting lineups possibly, it's that part of the show where we give a tremendous shout-out and thanks to our tremendous supporters. First and foremost to Tim Bronsel from King's Hammer, Matt Adamczyk, Mama Subs, Brian Malone, Jamie Smed, Mike Hudson, Jonas Tom, Jack Emery, Mike Bowman, Jesse Gill, Kathleen Francis, Jesse King, and, of course, Teresa Everidge. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support the show, you can do that over at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support. When I originally put this down on our rundown, gentlemen, about starting lineups, I was kind of maybe wanting to discuss what we thought the starting lineup would be for the opening day. But we could talk about UC and Sacramento, what we're thinking as far as the starting lineups there. It was originally tweeted on Saturday that Evan Newton was going to be starting in goal, and we haven't got official word yet on what exactly happened, but Spencer Ritchie played the full 90. So we're assuming something happened in the pregame warm-up. But we did get this question on YouTube here, guys, about the starting goalkeeper and who we think that might be. Bri, do you want to try to handicap that race?
Holy crap. I think from the first day, I thought that Spencer Ritchie was going to get the start just because of his loan situation, his pedigree. I think there's a lot of natural talent there. And I I think after this performance, yeah, he let in 2 goals, but the first one he had no help defensively on, and it was in the sun. And the second goal was a PK, and he
guessed right.
he guessed right. And he had a couple other great saves throughout that game. I thought he kept us in it. But Evan Newton's, I think, in some of the other matches, he's done extremely well. So I think it's logical to see like a 20-10 split on these guys. With probably the leader taking advantage through the last half of the year. It's a tough choice. I still think Richie, but we'll see what happens when Newton gets out there. I think was he hurt, Joseph? Did he get like a little injury or something right before kickoff? Looked like maybe it had his hand taped.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and I thought it was a knock he picked up that wasn't it from what everybody made it to be, and from what I saw from chilling on the sideline, it didn't make it look like it to be a huge deal, but kind of one of those why risk it situations in a place. I mean, I say that, and then Deckel kind of got his face busted and stayed in the game. So maybe I'm erring on the side of like hoping for the best, but yeah, I was actually pretty shocked when they announced the lineup, and I was expecting to see kind of both keepers play both halves. And if it is something significant, or at least significant enough that, hey, in 2 weeks we're starting Richie, not because he necessarily earned the spot outright, but because he's the starting option remaining fully healthy, then that could be the trigger that allows Richie to really gain a bit of a foothold over Newton rather than the 2010 situation you're thinking. Do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. But it is something to think about if he is out for more than a couple of weeks.
I absolutely predicted he's going to start versus his former team this upcoming Saturday. Newton.
Yeah.
Former Republic guy. I mean, unless he's hurt really bad, I think it's going to really pain him if he's not on the field versus those guys.
Now, are you thinking Richie's going to get the start and goal for the majority of the regular season bye, mainly because it's a loan deal that they brought him in on?
I mean, I think you give him a shot. I think both guys are going to get some time, and it wouldn't shock me one bit if it's a 5-5 split through the first 10 games. It wouldn't shock me one bit. I could see Newton in goal this Saturday versus Sacramento. I could see Village in the Freezer Bowl versus UC on Wednesday night. But I think it's just a little early right now. Both guys look like great shot stoppers, and it's a heck of a problem to have right now, guys. I mean, last year if we had Jay going in, we were kind of panicking, and now we got 2 studs. So it's a good sign. Good job, Koch.
Yeah, I was going to say that the goalkeeper spot, and Ken, you can chime in on this as well. We went from kind of having some big question marks, I would say even at some point last year. I mean, everybody loved Mitch, but there were moments where you were wondering, what was he thinking or what is going on? Especially, it just felt like on every corner kick or any kind of long throw, he seemed to struggle. But now we've got some really good goalkeepers in this group, and picking a starter is going to be tough.
Yeah, I just have really 2 words for it: goalie wars. I mean, it honestly is a battle out there, and I give it up to Coach Jack for getting these guys ready. I mean, this is a totally different position from last year, I think, because I think Mitch was a little complacent, maybe. And maybe it was good for him to move. And these 2 guys are battling it, and we're reaping the rewards as fans. As Brian says, it could be a 5-5 split, and I don't think any of us would be unhappy at this point in time, especially at this moment.
Well, let's face it, Mitch was brewing beer, so he had other things going on. Kind of what I saw Chris Weimer say this here on Facebook, and I've only seen the guys play just a bit, but it did look like they were comfortable getting out of the box a little bit more, taking that initiative. And that's something that's going to need to happen, especially when you're playing like in Nashville SC, who has Hume up front like that. You need to have a keeper that's going to make the decisions. And I think which of those guys is more confident in getting out of the box, winning the balls, versus having to be that last-second shot stopper, I think is probably going to win the job at the end of the day. 2018 goalkeepers these days have to use their feet, And I think so far so good. Both guys in Village too. I'm not trying to discount him, but I think we look pretty good on that front. So,
is there anything as far as Wednesday against UC that you want to see from this group? I think probably the biggest thing, Joseph, is let's stay injury free.
Oh, 100% first and foremost is wanting to keep the players healthy. But if I had to either predict or say my wishes kind of for the breakdown, it would be that we see, about a 50-50 split where we play two teams against UC, just trying to get people minutes, and then see more of a dress rehearsal against Sacramento, or playing what we think will be close to our starting lineup. But yeah, primary thing in this area, and that was my whole fear when Kynan went down, because we didn't really have, if it wasn't for the spectacular work of Alex Veer, we wouldn't have had an idea of actually why he was down for quite a while. And then when you see it's just a cut, not that it's anything, it's not a knee. When someone's down for like 7 to 10 minutes, you worry it's like a knee, something serious. So yeah, that put the fear of like a season-ending injury in my heart. So everybody stay healthy. And then beyond that, we'll get ready for the real season kickoff with a couple preseason games.
Oh, advice from Yosef. Oh, it's only a head injury. All right.
Merely a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound, like they say.
Just
in
a head
Monty
injury.
Yeah. Regardless, the biggest thing is stay injury free and get some fitness. Looking forward to see how they do over the weekend against Sacramento. That game being played at Nippert Stadium, so that'll be cool. There'll be a lot more fans there, hopefully, than the 1,500 they allowed there at Gettler Stadium over the weekend. And I'm surprised we didn't get a lot of pictures of this. And maybe you guys can fill me in, but was the Calhoun garage, was it like packed? Was there a lot of people up above? Like, I would assume if you could get into the garage and watch for, I guess at that point you could watch for free. You're not in the stadium, but if you pay for parking, I mean, you can at least get in there and watch the game. I don't know.
I mean, I counted at least 100. I think I was like 80, and I was halfway through. So I'd imagine there's at least 100.
Not bad. I figured it'd be more. I figured it'd be higher with like every row of people up there.
You were in the shade, so that kind of stunk.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty chilly. Yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. Well,
Sorry.
It is what it is.
Real quick about UC. The only thing that I'm hoping for out of that is that Jimmy and Josu get like 60 minutes or whatever, just to see those guys back. Because I think we're going to need them. I know we keep talking about the improvements to this roster, but these are two quality guys that we had on the pitch last year. I think Jimmy will make a difference. People are writing him off already with Haber coming out and playing well, and Lang on the left and Ledesma on the right. Jimmy's going to matter, guys. He's a huge part of the squad. Now, what role is he going to be in? That's to be decided. But he came into camp late, so I think that's going to happen now. So, or need to improve now. So, but yeah, Sacramento, man.
And the other thing I want to add too, not just Jimmy and Josu, but Amiobi needs some minutes as well to get him some match fitness too, especially if they're counting on him early on in the season. It's a good thing they got guys like Welshman and, of course, Danny Koenig as well.
Sure.
Hopefully get him fit as well for that season opener coming up here in just a few weeks against Charleston. So Sacramento, that'll be a fun one. I'd imagine we're going to get a full squad. Really, that's probably going to be the closest thing to game-like situation that we might see for FC Cincinnati. Might treat that one more like a regular season game, even though it is a friendly, because it is their last opportunity to get some game time. So I'd imagine we're going to see it. It's like the NFL, that third preseason game, they consider that the dress rehearsal. I'd imagine that this weekend's game against Sacramento will be that.
Yeah, and I hope to speak with the Indomitable City Soccer guys, the Sacramento SB Nation blog, hopefully this week on a march to match day for the first one of the year, hopefully, with those guys. We're just confirming everything, but hopefully look for that on iTunes or your favorite podcast provider, hopefully Thursday morning.
March to match day. It's coming back this year, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you get subscribed to our show, whether, like Brian said, whether it's on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify now. That way you don't miss a single episode of Cincinnati Soccer Talk.
It's sponsored by whoever's company's listening right now. So
That's right. We were going to talk a little bit about the Oakley Town Hall, but the report we got from Boston tonight was that there was not much to talk about.
hey, we still love you guys.
Take that for whatever it's worth, but we were going to have Boston call in. He said don't bother. So, okay then. Thank you, Boston, for the full report. So we play the Wikipedia game, guys.
Yes.
All right. So I'll be
So
completely
thrilled.
honest. I'm not familiar with this game. Brian is the guy who is familiar with this game. He's probably about to make Ken, Joseph, and I look very foolish, but we will certainly do our best. Brian, why don't you take it away?
Okay, so guys, we're trying to do more things to get our listeners involved in our show, okay? And one of these things is going to be if you haven't found out right now, you can donate to our show. If you donate to our show, you get involved in the Growler Cup contest. So what we're going to be doing, Yosef's in charge of the Growler Cup contest. For every month of the Growler Cup contest, it's going to be like a mini game. So whoever gets the most points that month is going to be invited to come on our show for a little segment like this and play a mini game versus our hosts. Get on the show, have fun. Just a way to get in contact with you guys a little bit more. So if you haven't done yet, go over to support the show, get involved in the Growler Cup. Win the Growler Cup, you get prizes and stuff, but also these have a chance to get in these mini games. So one of these mini games is called the Wikipedia game. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a bio of one of our FC Cincinnati players. Has some interesting facts to get you to know a little bit more about our FC Cincinnati players, things that you might not have heard. Then I'll offer it up to our panel here. Ken will be player 1, Nick will be player 2, Yos will be player 3. They basically get a bidding stage to wager on how much knowledge they know this person. So basically what they do is they bid on how many teams they can name of the player that they can guess. So if they can only guess the player, they guess the player. If they can guess how many teams he played for, they can wager, and the person who wagers the most has the opportunity to win the point. So I guess basically the bidding goes on till the last person kind of dips out on the bidding process, and then that person gets to guess. So you guys feel comfortable? You ready to do this?
Yeah, I mean it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Don't
We're
mean
gonna play
to show Stoodle there, smooth subs. Yeah, let's do. I guess. Do we want to do an example or like a practice round?
Okay, so we'll do this. Okay, this player grew up in his hometown club. He played in the Champions League. He won the Premier League. He played in several other. This is just off the top of my head right now. He played in several other levels of the English pyramid before coming over to the North America. So I'm going to say, Ken Hedker, you go first.
And I would say I can name one team
Okay.
outside of FCC.
Subs, can you name?
I can name 2 teams.
Okay. What about you, Yosef?
I would say I can name the player and 3 teams. So
Okay.
-3.
So, Ken, can you name 4 teams?
No.
Subs, can you name 4 teams?
Name them, Joseph.
Okay, Yosef. Who's the player?
That'd be good old Justin Hoyt.
All right, name is 3 teams.
Arsenal, Middlesbrough, and Millwall.
All right.
Dang,
So,
I forgot about
Joseph-
Arsenal.
Joseph is the-
Who hasn't?
I thought you were. Yeah, I couldn't believe you didn't say Sunderland. My boys. So way. So
All right, so that's
All right,
how it's
so
played. So now
that's how
we're
it
gonna
goes.
do it. So we're gonna
Wait,
play
I don't
to
get a
2.
point for that?
no, you don't get a point for that. It's like that's because I used him in the examples on our Slack page. Come on, Yosef. All right, Ken, you're gonna be player 1, Subs player 2, and Yosef number 3. This player moved through the ranks of a Serie A club. He also joined a champion side on a season-long loan in June 2008. He made a bright start to his career in English football, highlighted by a hat trick home to Carlisle in the second round of the League Cup. This coming days after his first and what turned out to be only championship-level goal in a prestigious win over Doncaster Rovers. In 2009, he left England and joined a Serie A B side, as well as bouncing around to other Serie A sides before coming back in a triumphant return to association football and then moving to America. He has played for 14 clubs, 2 clubs he appeared for twice. Was all league in his most recent stop, and as I said, I guess it didn't say this. He has played with a current FC Cincinnati teammate in the past. So this is a tough one. I left this off tough. So Ken, can you name that player, or do you need several teams listed to name that player?
I think I could name that player.
Okay. So can you name any of his clubs?
I think I could name 4.
Wow, going off big. Subs, can you name 5 or more?
I'm out.
Okay. Yosef,
name him, Ken.
Well, hold on. How many can you name, Subs?
I'm kind of stumped. I'll be honest. I'm stumped on the player.
Okay. What about you, Yosef? So you think you know who the player is?
I think I do, but I could only name one.
Okay.
If I did.
So Ken, name the player.
Is it Manu?
Manu. Okay. Now, see, this is where it gets tricky. If you could have said, 2 teams, you could have, had this point easier. So name 4 teams that Manu has played for.
Middlesbrough. Queens Park Rangers.
Okay. Middlesbrough and Queens Park.
New York Cosmos.
New York Cosmos.
And Brighton and Hove. Brighton and Hove.
Yes, I'll give it to you. Brighton and Hove.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brighton and Hove Albion, get it right. But yeah, that's
cares?
good, Ken.
He's also he came up for Genoa, which I would have gave you to. Queens Park Rangers, Salternac, whatever. Novara, Crotone, Walsall twice, Defensa e Justicia, Middlesbrough, Rotherham United, Brighton and Hove, and Penty and Tacos. Yeah.
So when you first started naming teams, or first started naming or reading his bio, Brian, I was I originally thought Manu to begin with, but then as you kept reading, I kept thinking maybe this is. I kept going to Patty, but I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. So
Patty didn't start in Serie A.
I know that's what I'm saying. As you kept reading the bio, I started to doubt myself about it being Manu.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna play till 2 points, and if it ends after this player, we'll go for a little bit longer.
All right.
This player, Subs, you're gonna be the first person here, okay? And then it'll go Yosef, then Ken.
All right.
This player played college soccer for the University of Louisville between 2007 and 2011. During his time at college, he was All Big East in 2011. He also played for the USL PDL prestigious Chicago Fire Premier between 2010 and 2011. This number 38 overall pick in the 2012 Super Draft made his MLS debut on May 26, 2012 against the Houston Dynamo. He has spent time in the 3 top leagues, now 2, in the United States before his arrival to Cincinnati. He also started the 2015 USL Championship game. He's played for 4 clubs, but 5 teams, including FC Cincinnati. He has played college ball with an FC Cincinnati coach. So your max bet here is
5. I'm not saying I can name 5.
No, it's 4.
Okay.
It's 4 except FC Cincinnati, so it would be 4. 4 teams.
Oh, I can name 3 in the player.
Woo! Okay, so the question is, Yosef or Ken, can you name all 4 of the teams he's played for? Yosef, can you?
I cannot. I can name the player.
No way.
No way?
I only knew 1.
Subs, see, this is where you gotta start low and bid yourselves up. So Subs,
I need the points.
Name the player. Name the player. Name the player.
Oh, sorry. Kenny Walker.
Okay, now name the 3 teams. 3 of the 4 that are not FC Cincinnati related.
And this is where I'm going to be mad at myself because I concluded FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, dummy.
All right. I'm going to go with LA Galaxy.
Okay.
I am going to go with, you said it was the 2015 USL champion.
Uh-huh. Remember, I'm counting.
I'm going to say
5 teams,
Los
4
Dos.
clubs. There you go. Okay.
And the 3rd team, I'm going to go with.
As he rushes to Wikipedia.
No. Crap. Oh no. I'm gonna go with
You said 3 with FC Cincinnati. Come on, man.
Rio Grande.
Nope. Can any of you guys name it?
Well, you
Just,
said Chicago Fire PDL, but
Yeah. I think I'll still give Subs a point, even though I'm supposed to actually take him down 1. So, can any of you guys name it? No? Yes? No? He played for the Fort Lauderdale. What?
No, I wasn't going to get it then. Good. I'm glad I didn't.
Fort Lauderdale Strikers and the Carolina Railhawks.
Oh, did he win it with the Railhawks?
I was going to say the
Yes.
Railhawks. I thought there was only one.
Now,
left.
these are Wikipedia stats, so I'm sure there could be like other things, but it's called the Wikipedia game. All right. Joseph, you're the first one here. This player played 3 seasons at an Ivy League university. In his junior year, he scored 18 goals and had 7 assists, finished the year on top of the country in points per game and goals per game. In addition to leading the NCAA in scoring, he was named a first-team All-American, the Ivy League Player of the Year, and a finalist for the Mac Herman Trophy. FC Cincinnati is his 7th club, so you will have to name one of 6. And he has scored 7 goals in each of the past 2 seasons. So, Joseph, can you name the player, or do you need clubs?
Jeez.
You can say, I need X amount of clubs.
I would need 2 clubs.
Okay? Ken? Could you do it with 1 club?
No.
Okay.
No, I couldn't.
You're out. Subs.
I can name the player and 1 club.
Okay. So all you should have said is, okay, so you're the player, you name the player, and you can name 1 club.
Yep.
Joseph, do you feel confident enough that you can name the player and 2 clubs?
No.
All right. Subs, name the player.
The player is Daniel Haber,
That's correct. And give me a club.
Real Monarchs.
Boom. So Subs technically has 2 points.
We can keep playing.
Keep playing. How's
Yeah.
everybody liking this? Everybody liking this on social media? All right. Well, Subs only likes it because he's winning. Let's be real. All
This is
right.
fun.
I know. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Ken. Okay.
Didn't Haber play in Greece? I mean Cyprus.
Oh,
Oh, Bill Wolf.
it's funny you said that, Ken. I was trying so hard because I was in the room trying to think of the club in Cyprus.
Oh, so I had a question. I had a clue, but I thought I was going to give it away. Basically, is he had played with current FC Cincinnati center back Declan Cannon.
So good.
But that would have given it away. That would have given it away.
Maccabi Haifa.
There you go. Haifa. All right, next player, and this goes to Ken. Short bio, because he doesn't have much listed on him. This footballer comes from a prestigious footballing family. A Newcastle United product, he has spent time at various levels of the English football table, including a spell in the English Championship. He's played in Iceland, Finland, England, Canada, and is now in his first season in the United States. FC Cincinnati is his 12th club, and he was the leading scorer, or second leading scorer all time at his previous club. So, Ken, can you name the player?
I can name the player, and
Can you name any clubs?
I'm going to say 3 clubs.
Wow, starting off strong. Subs, can you name 4 clubs?
I can name the player. I cannot.
Just give me a bid. That's all I need. Just give me a bid.
I can only do 2 clubs.
Okay, Joseph, can you do 4?
I cannot.
Can
No.
you do 2?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go back to you because Ken, who's the player?
Tommy.
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 All right, now give me 3 clubs.
Edmonton.
Okay.
I hope this counts. Newcastle?
No,
It doesn't.
Oh, no.
no, it does not.
Well, I won't give the other one that I know, so that's the only.
Okay. You
Then
won't
I'm
give
out.
the other. All right, you are technically out. Joseph, can you name 2 other clubs besides Edmonton?
I need to name two new ones.
Can you give me one more? Give me one more, and I'll give you a point because you're in last place. I'll help you out. Give me one.
You heard the confidence in my voice when I said
The big club. Can you name another one, Subs? All right, give it, Ken.
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know, Ken?
Isn't it Minnesota United?
Oh God!
I'm dinging you for a point. That's no. This first club in the United States, and you guessed Minnesota United. Come on, man. Leeds United.
Oh, that's right.
Scunthorpe, Doncaster Rovers, Grimsby Town, Mansfield Town, Forest Green Rovers, Whitley Bay, yeah. something Finnish. Something Finnish, something Iceland. Oh shoot. Okay.
I got United.
Right.
You got something. Well, okay. So right now, Subs has 2 points. Ken has 1 point because I kind of both gave them a little leeway. Yosef, you're in last place.
Let's do
Sorry,
one
buddy.
more.
All right. Should we do? Oh man, trying to think. I have 3 guys here. Who do I want to do? Yosef, I'm going to give you the first right here. Okay.
Okay.
This former Premier League player comes to Cincinnati playing at several huge clubs in his career. He's moved down the pyramid after his time at one of the biggest English clubs in terms of actual club size, not necessarily success, with varying levels. He hit his stride after he moved back to Ireland, where he won several cups and a Player of the Year award. This veteran comes to Cincinnati after leading his former side, to consecutive NASL regular season championships, spring and fall. He spent time at 11 clubs, one of those clubs twice. Set a previous NASL record transfer fee and was voted to the League of Ireland Best 11. So, Yosef, can you name the player?
I'm gonna lowball it. I can name the player.
Okay.
And I'll say one club.
That is lowballing it. Ken.
I can do 2 clubs.
Subs?
Crap. I can name the player,
You need to do 3.
and I'm gonna go with.
Real easy. 3's easy.
I'm gonna go with 3 clubs.
I should have done 3. I know 3.
Yosef, can you do 4?
I don't think I can do 4.
Can you do 3?
No. I think I can do 2. That's about
Come
it.
on, guys. You're killing me right now. Go ahead, Subs.
Oh crap!
Oh,
Okay.
crap. Come on.
I was trying to see if somebody would take the bait.
Oh,
All right, so it's Richie Ryan.
it is Richie Ryan.
He played for Miami FC.
Easy.
He played for the Jacksonville Armada,
Yes.
and he played for. I'm guessing here. I'm going to go with Dundee United.
Yes. Good job. That is a
What?
wonderful guess.
Wow.
Ding, ding, ding. We are the champions, Superling.
Wow.
Ottawa was
Play
the other
for-
one that I knew.
He played Sunderland, Scunthorpe, Boston United, Royal Antwerp, Sligo Rovers, which is his most successful stint. He was the captain there. Dundee United, which is probably one of the bigger clubs. Shamrock Rovers, another very successful club. Then he moved to Ottawa Fury, where he took Ottawa to the NASL Soccer Bowl as a teammate of Andrew Wiedemann. He played for Jacksonville Armada, Miami FC, and now FC Cincinnati. So I have 2 more that we can hold off for other shows. So
Yeah, let's save 'em.
I didn't use all my ammunition there. So hope you guys like that. As said, guys, if you really like this, if you had fun, we'll do this again. I know Ben Knapp's coming up with some extra games, and please donate to the show. Comes back to all of our equipment. I got a really cool recorder that we were gonna crack out for the MLS announcement that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, guys, you can be a part of this. So we love to hear you guys out here, and try to beat Superling, because we know Yosef and Ken are just average at best.
Oh,
I'm joking.
The part of
You
my
just don't want to
brain,
play me. You don't want to play me.
no.
the part of my brain that crams like in college has deteriorated so much over these past years. I used
From
to
all
have
the free
lunch.
pizza, right?
Stock prices. Yeah.
No, that was fun. Thanks for putting that together, Bri.
You guys did good. I was impressed. Good
yeah,
job. That
absolutely.
the last one there, Soups.
I pulled that one out of my behind. I'm not going to lie. No, that was a good time, and of course we want your feedback. Do you like these games? We'll try to do these more often on the show. As Bri said, CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support is where you can get involved. We're going to be inviting our supporters to play along with us, and of course, we want your feedback. Feedback at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. That was a good time. Really looking forward to that. All right, it's time we begin to wrap things up here on episode 106. I'll start with you, Ken Hetker. Welcome back. It was good to have you back, man, and hopefully we get to do this more often with you.
Yeah, it was a great time. Like I said, maybe it won't be another 5 months.
You got any final thoughts?
Couple. One, anybody who attended the meet and greet, I hope you did not get ill from our own Boston, from walking around and plaguing everybody. If you did get ill, take your hospital bills to him, and his wife will pay for them.
Don't contact us.
Yeah, don't contact. The other thing that goes along with the meet and greet, I saw Forrest Lasso actually went out and met on his Share the Love tweet that he put out, and he met and he gave out his shoes to a young lady. It's great to see our guys continue their involvement with our community, and I just wanted to say thank you, Forrest, if you're listening, and let's keep it up.
Good
That's all
stuff,
I
Ken.
got.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to have you back, and really looking forward to hanging out a few times this summer at FC Cincinnati games.
Definitely, and paint up.
Hey,
Well, no, I don't need to do that. I've already done that. There are others.
Brad Weigel.
Brad Weigel on the staff. There are a few others, yourself included, Ken, who haven't painted up yet. So just be careful what you wish for, buddy.
I will. Thanks, guys.
Let's go over now to Yosef Sagai. Yosef, final thoughts as we begin to wrap up?
Yeah, I'd say I had a really great experience at the game. My final thought would be I got to meet our episode captain this week, Kathy Francis. It was an awesome experience, so shout out to her. And it made me realize, hey, CST's grown a lot, a larger following over the past, off season. And I guess I get used to people knowing us and not being afraid to come up and say hi. Even some people probably would prefer that I stay away from them. But the thing I say that to say this, like, we would love anytime somebody wants to come up and say hi. Never hesitate to say hi to us. We're always open. So like I said, that was an awesome experience. And yeah, looking forward to meeting more of you and seeing those of you who already have met over this year.
Good stuff, Yosef. As always, appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. 2 weeks in a row, eh?
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to keep this up. Oh, without the internet gremlins, of course, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row for them, too. So, we'll see.
Well, it's good to have you back, buddy.
Good to be back, my friend.
And final thoughts from Brian Weigel. Brian, what's up?
Did we talk about Bucketheads yet?
No, but if you want to, you can.
Yeah, next week, the 14th, Wednesday. Is that right? Wednesday, the 14th? Something like that. Get all my dates right. We're going to be doing a live show at 7 p.m. on the west side of Cincinnati. We did this last year. This year, we're moving it midweek, so we don't have to contend with the first weekend. Or no, it's conference basketball. Never mind. But yeah, so we're having a party there Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Join us for wings, beer specials. We're gonna have a live show, special giveaways. Please come out. This is an event where we like to support the bar, but also doing these events. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We get paid to do these events by the bar, so it lets us to buy more stuff. We put all this money that we get back into the show. So to keep doing these to make our show better, we really need you guys to come out, pack it, and shameless plug here, but please come out west side to Buckethead. So gonna have a great time there. We're also gonna have another event next week that we can't really tweet out yet, but I'm sure you'll find out about it. So please stay tuned to our Cincy Soccer Talk Twitter. And again, guys, appreciate all your time. I wish we could get out here more and see you guys. And I'm sure that will happen with the season. But yeah, it's going to be a great year. And we appreciate, all the support. And, keep saying hi. We're here to grow the club. We're not here to make money or anything. So just say hi and be friends. And that's what it's all about.
Community. That's what it's
Yes.
all about. Good stuff, Brian. As always, appreciate it, buddy.
Neighborhood. Yes.
My final thoughts, I'm going to echo kind of the same sentiments that Josef talked about. There are times where, I'd be at a game last year and, as I'm walking by, somebody would, say something like, hey, Subs, love the show. Like, please do not hesitate to come up to us. We love hearing the feedback. We want to hear from you. So if you see us walking around an FC Cincinnati match, please, by all means, stop, say hi, tell us, what you love about the show. Tell us, do you watch it live? Like, how do you consume the show? We want to hear from you. So please do not be afraid to come up to us. Trust us. The group of us, I believe we're up to 12 now, which we have to. Certainly, I can't believe we went this far in the show without even announcing the fact that Trisha Hauser has joined our staff here at Cincinnati Soccer Talk as one of our newest writers. So we have to give a shout out to Trisha. But back to, come up and say hi to us. We want to hear from you. So please do not be afraid. We are not celebrities. The 12 of us, we are by no means, well, maybe Yosef's celebrity. But no, by all means, stop us, say hi, let us know what you think of the show, and we really do appreciate the feedback, and we love hearing from you. So please don't be scared, don't be shy, stop us and say hi at FCC games this year. As Brian mentioned, don't forget, you got to come out to Bucketheads on March 14th. Big thanks to Tom Scott for getting that organized and helping us set that up. So March 14th, put it on your calendar, 7 p.m. for the live show there. Of course, don't forget we do the show live every Monday night at 9 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube. But, of course, if you can't make the live show, you can always download our show on demand via audio over at iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, basically anywhere podcasts can be found. And, of course, you can support the show by going over to CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support. That is going to do it for episode 106. My thanks to Ken Hetker, Josef Sagai, and Brian Weigel. I'm Subs, reminding you to watch your tackles. FCC fans, enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week.